Hello, everybody. Okay, so while I wait for everybody to get on, I'm not going to do too much talking today. I just need to let everybody know that be gentle with me today. I've had a bit of a rough week. So those of you who've been patient waiting for me to respond and whatnot, thank you so much. I don't have a lot to say today other than just be gentle with me. I'm going to be a little raw, a little emotional, and hopefully be able to just put that aside. Actually, I just wanted to say before we start, see, I'm even having trouble getting my thoughts organized because A, I've got a lot of spirit in my brain today, and B, there's just a lot going on in my brain. So anyway, this is a new experience for me. Actually, I gotta say that, see, I'm trying to figure out how to put this without giving away too much information. I've been doing this kind of work for a while, but it's a little bit difficult to do this kind of work when you're going through your own personal kind of stuff, because you have to clear your own personal thoughts, feelings, emotions, etc., etc. So I did a reading actually when I got home last night. I did a reading, and I got to tell you, it was one of the best readings I've ever done, because in this situation, all I want to do is stop thinking about my own stuff. And I don't even know how to explain to you, to be able to have that focus, to be able to concentrate on other people is just amazing. So I'm a little scattered today. If I'm not as accurate as I normally are, then I hope you guys understand. And in the meantime, I'll do the best I can. We'll see what happens from here. So here we go. All right. Now the phone stops ringing. Okay, you guys, I'm ready. I'm shutting up. Here we go. Hello?
Hi, are you taking readings now?
Yes, I'm doing the live readings.
Oh, great.
You're calling for the live readings?
I am.
Okay, what's your first name?
Montana?
Okay. Are you somewhere where you can sit down and be calm for a few minutes, Montana?
As quiet as I can be. I'm a single mom and I have a little baby, so.
Gotcha. I like to start with a bit of a grounding exercise, though. It helps me get focused on your energy and whatnot. So is it possible for you to sit somewhere where you can be still for a minute and have your feet on the floor?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So if I can get you to do that, and then I want you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe and slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay, give me just a second here to make sense of this. Okay, slow this down. I gotta say, information came just pouring through. Feels like there's a few different people here. Hold on a second, let me just make sense of this. Okay, so specifically, there is a lady that stands here. I can't really get a good grasp on her energy yet. Then there is a gentleman. I'm hearing Daddy's Hands, which is my song, is the song that I hear when there's a father figure on the other side or somebody that's on Dad's side. There's also somebody that has white lighters around them. So that's my symbol for somebody that passed either sudden or unexpected, who either took their own life or who takes responsibility for their passing. Hold on a second. Slow this down. Okay, so there's so much coming through that it's getting a little confusing, and I'm not sure where to put all of this. So give me a second.
Sure.
Okay, so who's the gentleman that would have whose life would have been cut short. So that when I say cut short, I mean that they didn't live to as long as we would think of as their time here in the physical world. Like they didn't live to like 70s or 80s, so to speak. I definitely get the father figure side, so this is either dad or dad's dad, but he's showing me snapping the fingers, which is my symbol for sudden or unexpected, and I'm definitely feeling the white lighters all around him. So I don't know if that means that he's taking responsibility for his passing, or if it was just sudden or traumatic and there was a lot of healing needed for whoever that is, or the people that were left over, because that's the white lighter's job, is to heal.
I don't know.
Okay, so as I'm saying this, he's being a little more specific. I want to go above dad. So your father is still here in the physical world?
Yes.
But his father is on the other side, correct?
Yes, but he's older.
That's okay. He's on the other side, but he's, okay, so as soon as you acknowledged him, what I saw him do was bring forward the gentleman that's there that has the white lighters all around him. So that's what's going on, is there's two energies stepping forward. But your grandfather is bringing forward this younger energy and wanting you to know that they've reunited on the other side. So who is the person that's underneath Grandpa that passed suddenly, unexpectedly, or who would take responsibility for his passing?
I don't know.
Okay, hold on. All I know is he just references to being like meeting up on the other side. But he makes me feel like your dad would know who this is, because there's a relief around meeting up with this younger person.
Could it be a child?
Absolutely, it could. The thing is that all I know is that he's referencing that this is underneath him. This soul is underneath him. So it would be, when I say underneath, I mean children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, etc. That's what I mean by underneath him.
Okay. My sister had a baby that died, like, just as soon as she was born, but it was a female.
Okay.
And it was suddenly.
Okay. See, no, that absolutely makes sense. And the thing around the sexes, and anybody who has ever had a reading with me will know this, is that sometimes on the other side, I can get the sex of a soul mixed up when they're coming through together like this, because the energy kind of interacts, right? So, like,
okay, sorry, you'll have to bear with me because this is my first time calling. I've only watched your show once before.
Oh, no, that's okay. I appreciate you bearing with me today, because it can be confusing. I know it's confusing for me sometimes, but it's like when the energy comes forward, it's just bombardment, right? I'm trying to figure out where it all fits. The signs and symbols always make sense. It's just trying to figure out where they go, if that makes sense. It's like a puzzle. But okay, so the grandfather figure, here's the thing about spirit, is they will not move on until you understand the message. So that's why we're still talking about this, because your grandfather is like, I am not going to move forward until you understand that I have the soul of this child with me on the other side.
Oh.
And that's why I'm seeing the white lighters around the child. Okay, see, now that we establish who this is, the white lighters back up. And if once you've watched a few of these, you'll see whenever the white lighters are around somebody, it's a little bit more difficult for me to get information from them, from the soul, until the white lighters back up. And so now that they've done that, slow this down. That's why they were there in the first place, is because they surround either a soul who, I think I already said this already, when there's a lot of healing that's needed. So for the family of the baby is why they were there, not for the baby itself. That's what you have to understand. The baby feels like she crossed very quickly, very easily. That's why she's snapping her fingers, sudden or unexpectedly, like, slow this down. Okay, so all of that being said, I have to go over to the other side to the I'm not sure. She goes above you. Hold on a second. She takes me to the head and she makes me feel a bit of confusion. So that's my symbol for somebody who had either Alzheimer's, dementia, or a stroke or an aneurysm or something to do with the head. She's also taken, you know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because she's taken me to the throat as well, and she's talking about communication, but there's a feeling of being amused. I'm not sure. Hold on a second. Who is this to you?
My grandma.
Okay, because were people trying to talk to her or something, and she's like giving funny answers or something? I'm not sure how to explain what she's talking about, because she's making me feel amused every time people talk to her. It's almost like, how do I explain that? When you're talking to a blind person and you yell at them, you know what I mean? They're blind, not deaf, but I don't know how to explain this. She's making me feel like people overcompensated when speaking to her.
On the end, the last couple of years before she passed away, she had a stroke.
Yes.
And she couldn't really talk, so she used to just repeat herself over and over and over by just saying like one word, like baby, 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 baby.
There we go. She's laughing at this on the other side. She's like amused with herself. Because you know what? The feeling is that I think the reason why she's bringing this up is because she makes me feel like she was a very dignified lady, and that people are worried that, you know, that was her suffering in the end. But she's like, you know what? I wasn't suffering. I'm very amused, actually. She's like, for such a dignified lady, that's how I ended up, you know, having to speak to people. She's like, it's kind of funny when you think about it. She just is like it's like life forced her to lighten up, so to speak, towards the end.
Yeah.
She's also expressing a lot of gratitude for the way that people cared for her, because she's making me feel like, other than this amusement with the speech, that nobody ever really made her feel like she was a burden or she was sick. In fact, the way she makes me feel is almost like they didn't want to let me go. I was worried that even though I couldn't talk or, you know, interact the same way that I could before, I was worried that me leaving was going to be too much for them.
Yes. She is the kind of one who held in the whole family.
So, okay. She's just thanking you guys all for the way that you made her feel towards the end. She's like, just took me to her passing, and I saw the rising and the fall of the chest, which is my symbol for when somebody watched me take my last breaths. And I felt the holding of the hand, which is my symbol for that I know that there's people there in the room, that somebody's with me. And she's talking about attending the event shortly after her passing, and very excited about being able to attend the event after her passing. I'm not sure what this is, a birthday or a graduation or something like this, but there's something that happened after her passing, and she's like, you know what, now I'm free to attend them all. I can go, and I don't have to be hurting, or do you know what I mean? She's making me feel like her body is free to attend all of these events again.
And just after she passed away, my sister had a baby.
Okay.
And she didn't live in the same city. My sister couldn't travel home to be with her when she was passing because of her pregnancy.
See, so this is your grandmother's way of letting her know that she came to her and that she doesn't have to worry. That's why she's making me feel, she's saying to me, this is again how we interpret the signs, right? Because what she's making me feel is a freedom from the limits of the body. And then she's like, now, and she gets excited, and she's like, now I can attend to these events because we're not limited by the body. So that if your sister couldn't travel because she was limited by body, that would make sense to me why your grandmother would bring it up in that way, and letting her know that she attended the birth of that event. Why does she show me like her? When spirit points from them to a child, that usually either means that they're named after the child or that they're just like them. Hold on, did your sister have a baby girl?
She did, and she named her the same name.
There we go. So that's her way of validating that she knows that on the other side. She's like, please let your sister know, because she's showing me the whispering in the ear, that she heard everything that she had to say. So it doesn't matter if she was there for her passing or not, because your grandmother heard every single thing she had to say.
Oh my God, my sister hasn't been able to live it down.
Aww.
That she didn't get home to be with her.
Well, that's why Grandma's bringing it up in this way. And just because, see, the thing is, you got to understand, Spirit doesn't want people to uproot and make their lives harder to get there to say goodbye, because Spirit can hear you wherever you are, and they can be in 10 places at once. Trust me. That's why you and I are able to talk to Spirit right now, because I'm not sure where you are, but I think you're on the other side of Canada. And
I know.
exactly. And so your grandmother's in the room with you right now, but she's also in the room with me, because they can be in 2 places at one time. Okay,
wow.
So what she just did for your sister was she spun her around, which is my symbol for somebody who's been trying to lose weight or take better care of themselves, or eat better. She like shows me the thumbs up, then she shows me ×2. So I think that both of you have been actually, I don't know if this is just after baby kind of thing or whatnot, but your grandma's like showing me 2 thumbs up and how proud she is of you. Does that make sense?
My sister, she's actually having twins. She just found it yesterday.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so let me just go back and, okay. I'm trying to like understand these symbols again. See, I try to interpret them the same way that they always mean for me, but they're individual to each of you. So thank you for correcting me on that, because she showed me the body, which usually, and the spin, which usually means health or exactly, and then the ×2. Oh my God! Sorry,
Yes,
my brain's just catching up.
She's like taking better care of her body now, because she just recently found out she was pregnant like 2 weeks ago, and she went for an ultrasound. She was further along, and they found out she was having twins.
Oh, well, congratulations. Please let her know that Grandma knows about this and is definitely watching over her during this time. She's like, you tell her to stop being so scared.
I will.
Did she have some kind of complication with her first? Because she's telling her this is never going to happen again. Or is this the same sister that lost the child before?
It's the same sister who lost a child.
Because she was trying to reassure her that this is never going to happen again, and that these babies are definitely going to be safe and here in the physical world with her.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I hope that was helpful. Sorry, I was trying to ask her if she'd tell me the sex, but she's not. She just shows me my symbol for privacy. So I don't know if your sister knows already.
No, she doesn't want to find out.
Ah, isn't that funny? See, your grandma knows. That's
yes.
Too funny. Oh, well, I hope that this was helpful for you guys. And definitely check with your dad and let your dad know, because your grandfather is stepping forward again and letting you know that please let your dad know that the person to the side of him, so I don't know if this is a brother.
Oh, I know who it is. This would be my great-grandpa. He passed away when he was really young.
Okay.
My great-grandma's husband.
And he was very close with your dad?
He was very close with my grandpa and my dad, yes, because he raised my dad too. Well, my dad was only 7, I think, when he passed.
There you go. That's why it was so important for Grandpa to let you know as well that that gentleman's on the other side.
Oh, wow.
So when he came forward, what happened, just to clarify, just so that when people call in, they can understand this too, is that what happened was when you first called, I got bombarded with your grandfather bringing through 2 souls, and then your grandmother over here going, no, me first. And so everyone's throwing information at me, and we just got to sort it out and figure out where it goes. So thank you for your patience with me today, and I'm glad that I'm hoping this was helpful for you and for your sister.
It was very helpful. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Whew, I feel like my words are like more scattered than usual today, but I appreciate you guys helping me like blah, 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 work my way through it here. Okay, hello.
Hi, Tracy. How are you?
I'm good. Krista,
Yes,
you're calling for a reading
I am. Yes,
on the free readings.
yes.
The reason why I say this, and I'm not going to take your call right now, I got to tell you why.
Okay.
Because you have helped me so much with my technological issues, and I know that if I had an issue, I could pick up the phone and call you right now. So if all you need is a quick 15, 20-minute reading, then you just got to say so. I told you that a while ago. So I will call you back after these are over, okay? Because there's a lot of people that I don't know on here at all that can never get a reading from me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough? Okay, I have no problem doing that for you when this is over, though, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I will give you a call after.
Sounds good.
Okay, bye-bye. Aw. See, people I've gotten to know on here, and they help me out a lot, then I'm going to help you out right back. So, okay, so here we go. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you calling for the free readings?
I am.
Awesome. What is your first name?
Crystal.
Crystal. Okay, Crystal. Are you sitting somewhere where you can be calm and do a little grounding exercise with me for a minute?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. If I can get you to sit with both feet flat on the floor for a minute.
Okay.
Whew, you got energy coming through already. Okay. And then I want you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus.
Okay.
Okay, so you said your name was Crystal, right?
Yes.
Okay. So right away, even before you did your breath, I have to say there's a lady front and center, and she just keeps letting me know that she's showing me the body. Okay, she goes really fast. She shows me the body scan, which is my symbol for somebody who was in a lot of pain or had a lot of issues going on in the body before she passed away. And she's making it very clear that she is not in any more pain on that side. She's showing me the wiggle, which is my symbol for somebody who either had limited mobility here in the physical world, or there was something with the mobility, because she has free and clear mobility on that side.
Okay.
Do you know who this is?
I don't think so. My one grandmother passed away when I was really young.
Okay.
And I always remember her walking.
Right.
I'm trying to think if there's someone else.
Slow this down. She's being very clear. She's not in any more pain anymore. This seems to be the big thing that she says would validate who she is. So I could be wrong as far as relationship. This is why I usually don't try to like guess mom, grandma, aunt, or whoever.
My husband's aunt just passed away.
There. And would you understand how she would be in a lot of pain before she passed away?
She had cancer.
I see. So this is her way of stepping forward. She's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. As soon as you say that, I feel this gratitude for her, from her, for you letting her come through right now.
Okay.
And definitely letting your husband know that she is free from any of and his family. She's like, please let them know that I'm not in any pain, that I'm absolutely free of all of that. She must have gone through that for quite some time, because
yes, she did.
Yeah, it just really feels like, I've endured a lot and I'm now free. She's showing me meeting up with the gentleman on the other side. I'm not sure if this is her father or her husband, but she's absolutely bringing him forward and saying, yay, he's here.
Okay.
Okay, slow this down. So what's going on is you've got people over here that are more connected to you, but this aunt isn't letting me move forward yet.
Okay.
Because she put the white blanket around your husband's shoulders.
Okay.
The white blanket is my symbol for somebody who has health or stress issues. And she's letting you know that she's watching over him on that side. There's a deep gratitude there. She's making me feel like she very much loves him. And I'm not sure what the space or the distance is that she's putting there. I don't know if that means that he lived a space or a distance away from her, or he didn't get to see her very often, or that they just weren't extremely close emotionally. But she takes me to the throat, which is my symbol for communication. And she's talking about, she's just overemphasizing the I love you. So usually whenever spirit overemphasizes something like that, it's my symbol for that they didn't say it enough here in the physical world, or that that's exactly who their personality was, like overdoing it. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
There's just a feeling of wanting to express that I love you very much and thank you for, she's saying the whispering in the ear, so thank you for, she's heard what he said or done to honor her, in other words.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. I'll pass it on to him. It's very recent that she has passed.
I see. That's probably why I'm picking her up so strong. But I have to say that these two ladies on your side are like being so patient. But there's two ladies and there's a gentleman. So I'm not sure how they fit. Just give me a second. I got to get her to pull her energy back a bit.
Okay.
She's pulling her energy back. And was she a little bit like, oh, because spirit has a tendency to come through the way that they were in life. So was she did she kind of like to be the center of attention when she was here in the physical world?
Not so much. She was quirky.
Okay, because she's just, I don't know, she's kind of coming through like, no, I can't step back yet. Like, I can't step back yet. I can feel these other two people wanting to talk, and she's like, no, this is my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as she's pulling her energy back, she has the soul of a child as well. She's letting me know that she has the soul of the child on that side, that she's met up with the soul of the child on that side. So somebody lost a child, either abortion, miscarriage, or shortly after they were born.
All right.
Okay, so another lady is coming forward. She's taking me to the head. So there's two. So I'm not sure if she's just referencing that she's met up with the lady on the other side. I definitely feel a lot of, I want to say a lot of grief. Like this passing was hard on somebody. Somebody took this really hard. There's a mother figure on the other side. Is this your mom or your grandma that you were extremely close to?
My grandmother.
Okay, because I can feel that bond, and that, like, even while the aunt was here, I kept trying to push her aside because I can feel how much you want to talk to this person. Do you know what I mean? Slow this down. She just comes forward very grandma gushy, I have to say. That what I call grandma gush is when they, like you see in the movies, where they like grab your cheeks and are like, I love you, love you, love you. She takes me to the head, and then I feel relief. But I don't know if that's how she passed. Hold on.
She had it.
Okay, no, sorry, you were going to validate that.
She had a stroke or a seizure.
But did she pass of something else? Because I feel like, yes, she takes me to the head, but then she makes me feel like it was something else. It was almost like it caused another complication or something.
Yes.
See, as she says that, she just smiles at me, and I'm like, okay, like, what else do you want to say? She's like, hello? She's like, I'm just like letting this sink in that it's me that's here. Then she takes me to the head again, and she's like, can you let my granddaughter know that I've heard everything that she said to me? Slow this down. She's like talking, she's just showing me, putting her energy. She shows me parking herself beside you and not leaving your side. Especially, she takes me to the past and she shows me the darkness. So when spirit shows me the darkness, that's my symbol for somebody that went through a challenging time or a really tough time. And she's talking about not leaving your side throughout that. And she's showing me two or three. So I don't know if that was 2 or 3 years ago or that you went through this for 2 or 3 years. She's showing me the 2 or 3.
Huh.
Well, actually, I could be months. Was there something that you went through a few months back that was really difficult for you?
Yes.
Like 2 or 3 months ago?
It was about 5 months ago.
And as you said that, she's like ding, 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 and then she takes me to the 2 or 3 again. I see the 2 or like 2. I literally see 2 or 3, and then I feel relief. And when I asked her, why are you showing it to me that way? She's like making me feel like because it was between the 2nd and 3rd month that you started to change your thinking, which is why she brought me to your head, and that you were able to get control of the situation again. Would that make sense?
Yes.
She showed me how proud she is of you. Then she just went beneath you and kissed 2 children. Do you have 2 children?
I have 3.
See this down. Was one of them already born when she was here in the physical world?
He was, and I was 8 months pregnant when she passed with my second.
So this is the reason why she referenced, or she kissed the cheek of the 2 kids, is because she didn't get a chance to kiss them in life. So this is why she's wanting you to know that when they were born, that when those children were placed in your arms, that your grandmother's soul was with you at that moment. Slow this down. Are you still planning on having more?
No.
Because she just said, Tracy, look at all these kids over here. And I'm like, what are those? Like, are those all like, I'm confused, right? Are those kids that have passed away or those kids that are coming? And she's like, oh, we have such a big family. And so I wasn't sure if she was talking about you specifically or that we're going through a period in the family where there's just like kids being born. Does that make sense?
There was a couple of years ago, my brother kept having kids.
So this would be her way of referencing that she was aware as well. Slow this down. Because when you talk about your brother, I have to say she feels amused, like almost like we never saw your brother having kids in the first place, let alone having that many or having like ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his 2 youngest are only about a year and a little bit apart. I think they're 13 months apart.
Is this mom's mom?
Yes.
Because she just kissed your mom's cheek, and I heard she handed your mom a rose. So the rose is my symbol for either anniversary or birthday or something that happens yearly, so to speak. So did your mom just have a birthday or anniversary that just passed?
My mom and dad just celebrated their anniversary in March.
Nope, that's not it. Hold on. She's being more specific. Slow this down.
My dad's birthday is tomorrow.
There we go. She's like, because as soon as you said my mom and dad, she's like, yeah. And she's like, and then when you said anniversary in March, I'm like, oh, that's not it. It's almost like I can feel it when you hit it, right? And then you're like, the birthday. She's like, thank you, because that's tomorrow. So that's her way of letting you know that
it's his first birthday with him, not with us.
Oh, interesting. So this is her. Okay, so I understand 2 things are going on right now. One, that's why she kissed your mom's cheek and handed her the rose and didn't show me a birthday cake. I have goosebumps right now because, like I said, the rose indicates either anniversary or birthday. But the fact that it's both, it's an anniversary, first kind of anniversary of him not being here, or his first kind of birthday. Okay, so this is also her way of bringing his soul forward at the same time. He feels, I have to say, okay, so when Dad's soul steps forward, he makes me feel right away a gratitude, and he snaps his fingers. So he takes me to the very end of his life, and I feel this gratitude and the snap. So here's the thing. he's definitely making me feel like there was a diagnosis or that this didn't just happen overnight. We had a little bit of warning, but he makes me feel like the very end of his life went very quickly, if that makes sense.
It does, absolutely.
He's very grateful that that went quickly because he's making me feel like he had this fear about passing. What he does is he takes me to before when he was first diagnosed or whatever that is. And at first I feel like I'm Superman, like, it's nothing, you know, like this is nothing. And then all of a sudden it's like this kicks in one day that, oh my God, like this is really happening. And now I feel like I'm afraid. And then he turns to you and he's showing me my symbol for gratitude. And he's like, everybody kept reassuring me about passing away. And somebody gave him, he's just thanking you for that reassurance to pass. He's making me feel like you made it so much easier on him. Does that make sense?
Yes, the day before he passed away, he asked me, my mom, and his sister if we were ready and okay. And we said yes. And his sister said, if you want to let go, Bob, let go.
He's
within less than 24 hours, he was gone.
He's definitely thanking you for that. I don't know if you guys can see that, if the camera picks up my like arm hair standing on end, but or if you just got the goosebumps as well, because even as I said that, he showed me embracing you in spirit. Then he shows me, because your mom, this is what he shows me. He's like, who knew she'd be so happy without me? Hold on. He's like teasing her that she's kind of got over this so well, you know? Hold on.
My mom's a rock.
Yeah, he's like, I love my wife, but, you know, she doesn't miss me so much. Like, he's teasing about being, ultimately, there's a gratitude that she was able to move on without him being here, and not having to be a burden to her anymore, because he makes me feel like almost like this dragged on for a year or two before he actually got to the point of passing, and that his wife was so amazing to him that she deserves to enjoy the rest of her life without having to feel like she's a nursemaid, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Was he
Does
like,
he know what I did for him?
Well, I'm not sure, but he's not done talking yet, so hold on. He's showing me like 60s. Was he in his 60s when he passed?
He was 69.
There we go. He's laughing about this. He's like, you know what? He's like, I never had to make it to 70. I didn't die an old man. Ha, ha, ha. So I don't know what he's doing now, but he's showing me his name and stars all around it. When you said, does he know what I did for him? All I feel is this extreme sense of honor, and he places all these stars around his name. Like, I'm not sure what he means by that. So give me a second. I've never seen that before. You did something where you bolstered his life. Like, he's making me feel like you talked about him or you honored him somewhere where he's talking about elevating him even to a better man than he was. Almost like you spoke too highly of me. I wasn't that great of a guy. Like, he's like, shucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Almost like you spoke really highly of him somewhere or something. And again, I see the stars all around his name, and I don't know what that means.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
He had a heart and dagger tattoo on his arm that said Bob in the middle of it. I have the heart and dagger on my arm, and it has his initials and his birth date and his death date with 3 flowers around it for the 3 cancers that he had.
Wow. Okay. So it's not the stars I'm seeing, it's the flowers. So that's why I'm seeing his name with things around it. Oh.
Yep.
Well, okay. Sorry, that's like pretty darn cool. I'd say he knows about that. You also spoke about him though. Was this?
I do every day.
Because he's making me feel like you talk about him even better than he was, is how he's like thanking you for That's what he did. He's like, shows me a pedestal and he put himself on it. And he said, Tracy, that's how my baby girl always saw me.
Absolutely.
Even though that's why he's making me feel like you talked better of him than even he deserved, because he's like thanking you for always making him feel like a king. He's making me feel like he didn't have to have quantity of life because his family gave him quality. That's the thing. When he passed away, your dad knew he was absolutely loved. And
Absolutely.
for that, he's extremely grateful. So you're married?
I've been with the same man for a long time. We're common law.
Because he kissed both of your cheeks and he's showing me the tradition continuing. So it's almost like he's talking about how grateful that his example of how to treat your mom and how to have a happy relationship, etc., how to be a good dad. He's like showing me that you are now embracing those qualities in your life with your children. Does that make sense?
Yes.
He's very proud of who you're turning into. And he's thanking you for whatever this is to do with mom. He's showing me the house, and I just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Do you go visit your mom a lot?
She lives with me.
Oh, okay, that's why. And you are like taking her to do the errands or something like this? Because he's showing me a lot of travel, and I feel the gratitude around the travel.
We go everywhere together.
Okay. Because he's like showing me my grandmother when she was here, and I used to take her everywhere. And that's what he's showing me, the back and forth, the back and forth.
My mom and I go everywhere together.
So validating that he knows about that on the other side. He's like thanking you guys for the birthday present. So somebody got him a present. He's like, it's food. I feel like, did you guys are you buying him a birthday cake?
No, I was just actually talking to my girlfriend this morning, and I want to do something for him, but I don't know what to do.
Food. That's what he said. Because you know what? He makes me feel like he wasn't able to enjoy a lot of food towards the end of his life. And,
no, he wasn't.
And so he's like, you know what? He's showing me like put some steaks on the Barbie or whatever. You know what I mean? Like have a nice dinner and just remember me. That's like all I ask.
Okay.
Aw, he's pulling his energy back. I hope that was helpful.
It was. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys, I know I'm a little long-winded today, but interesting. Okay, so that's interesting to me. You see how I see things, and it's often a little bit distorted from how it looks. I see a name with stars that are actually flowers. It's interesting. Okay, here we go. Hello? Hello?
You are a disgusting liar, and I hope you get run over by a train lying cunt.
Wow. Did you guys hear that? Wow. That was a number from Iowa. I won't repeat that language. But, all right then, don't call in if you don't like what I'm doing here. Anyway, hello?
Hi, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Good.
You're calling for the free readings?
I am.
Okay, what is your first name?
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Okay. Oh, sorry, Lindsay, my nose just started itching. Okay, so are you somewhere where we can do a quick grounding exercise?
Yes, you bet.
Okay, perfect. Now, if I could get you to sit with both feet flat on the ground for a minute. I'm going to get you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly bringing it all the way up through your body, and then just blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of stuff coming through here. First of all, there is a couple that steps forward holding hands. So that's usually my symbol for two people that were married or together here in the physical world. So either that, and they're going above you. So either that would be parents or grandparents that are both on the other side. I'm also hearing daddy's hands, but I'm not sure yet if this is actually a father figure that's on the other side or somebody from dad's side. When I try to tune into that energy, it feels like you have a bunch of people on dad's side that are passed away.
There's a few, yeah.
So I think where I want to start, though, is I want to start with the person that's to the side or whose life passed unexpectedly. There's somebody who has white lighters around them. White lighters are beings of pure white light on the other side that typically surround somebody who either committed suicide, takes responsibility for their own passing, or whose passing was sudden, unexpected, or tragic in such a way that there's healing needed for either the soul that's passing over or the souls of the people that are here. They definitely snap their fingers, which means that their passing was sudden or unexpected. Slow this down. Do you know who this person is? It feels like to the side. So this could be either friend, cousin, sibling. It feels like to the side.
I think I might know.
Who would this be to you?
I have a suspicion it could be my dad's brother.
That would make sense why they're going to the side. And you understand why they would have the white lighters around them? Around him?
Yeah.
Was this an actual suicide? Because he just took me to the brain.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Because when they take their own life, then they take me to the head because they're letting me know that their head wasn't quite right. It's kind of like one of the ways that I ask spirit to identify themselves is by telling me how they passed. So if somebody passed of like a heart attack, they'll take me to the chest. Somebody who passed of suicide doesn't always show me how they committed suicide. What they show me is that it was their brain that was sick. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this would have been your uncle?
Yes, I think so.
He shows me my symbol for space or distance. So has he been on the other side for quite some time?
Yeah.
But your dad's, okay, I'm not sure if he's meaning that your dad's still here in the physical world or what the heck this means. Because he puts the white blanket around dad's shoulders and he shows me holding his hands. Then he shows me the snap of the fingers, which is sudden or unexpected. So I don't know if he's bringing forward dad saying that something happened and when he was watching over him, or if he's saying that that he is watching over him now. Is your dad on the other side as well, hun?
No.
Okay, so he's taking me back a little ways. Did your dad have like a heart issue or like some kind of health scare a little while ago?
Yeah.
Okay, that's exactly, because he's like snapping his fingers and he's showing me that he's watching over him and that it felt like it came very unexpected. Does that make sense?
To us, not to dad, but
Okay. You know what he did is he just pulled the white blanket off of your dad's shoulders and he's letting you know that he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Like that he's healing. I don't feel, okay, put it this way. He's talking about that dad has some health issues. Make sense?
yeah.
And he's making me feel like these health issues are never going to go away completely. There's something that we're still managing here. But that he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's still going to be around for a ways yet. I'm not sure why he's trying to give you this reassurance unless maybe you've been very worried about dad.
Yeah.
Did you never meet him or you didn't know him so well? Because he's like showing me that he's been watching over you too, but I see my symbol for time passing. So has he been on that side for quite some time?
Like almost 30 years.
There we go. Sorry?
Or more than that.
So, okay, so that explains why he's showing me distance or space. And so then when he pulls his energy back, I see the lady step forward. Let's slow this down. She's showing me, or she's taking deep breaths, which is my symbol for somebody who can breathe free and clear on that side. She's also showing me the wiggle, which is my symbol for somebody who had limited mobility here in the physical world that can move free and clear on the other side. And now what she does is she takes me to the end of her life, and she makes me feel like she was still moving, like she just maybe slowed down a bit towards the end of her life. But I don't see like a wheelchair or anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Who is that to you? This feels like on mom's side. Would that be correct?
My mom's mom.
Slow this down. That's so funny. When you first called in, this is what I felt actually. When you were doing the breath, the grounding exercise, I can hear a baby in the background, and I could feel this lady's spirit very distracted by the child. And I'm trying to concentrate on the grounding exercise in the beginning, and I'm like, hey, stop, because she's just like coochie-cooing the baby. Do you know what I mean? Very much wanting to acknowledge that she's with you. I don't know if this was a rough birth or something, or if you were just very nervous about the birth of this child, because she's showing me placing herself right beside you and not leaving your side.
It was 37 hours delivery.
That would be why. I feel for you. I had a 41.5 hour. I know your pain. She's just like, you did so good. So this was natural though, hey?
Yeah.
Because she's like showing me like in the movies where they're patting your head and like, you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Like you wanted to give up. She's like, but you definitely, she was in the room with that. She's liking your husband, I have to say. She's making me feel like he's got a bit of a sense of humor. Like, was he like cracking jokes or trying to keep it funny the whole time?
Yeah.
Well, let's slow this down.
Oh.
Is baby at teething stage? Because she's talking about teeth and she's showing me the rosy cheeks, which is usually teething.
Yeah.
Is this a girl?
No.
It's a boy? I can't tell the sex. Honestly, I'm asking her and she's like telling me it doesn't matter. That it's just, she's just so in love. Like all I feel is love, 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 love. And so it's funny when I say that, see, Spirit gets me to say things in a way to get me to say things that they want me to say. Were you hoping for a girl?
Subconsciously, but happy with Eden.
I think that's why she said it that way, because I asked her, what is this? And she's like, I'm not answering you. And so I tried to feel and I felt girl. And then you said boy. And she's like, exactly. It doesn't matter. And so just the way she said that is like acknowledging that she knew that initially you wanted a girl. And then she shows me the soul of a child on the other side. In fact, 2 more children. And she's showing me reassurance. She's like, breathe. If you still want more children, they're coming. Slow this down. Because this is your first child, correct?
Yeah.
She just showed me number 1, and she showed me my symbol for pride and how proud she is of you. What an incredible mom that you are. She's like talking about that you have like, she's showing me my symbol for a natural. Like you, people would think that this was your 5th child or something by how easy you have like gone into this routine, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you guys trying for another baby though?
We want to in the spring.
Because that's how she makes me feel. She's like, oh, I'm so excited. And she's like kissing the cheeks of this child. And again, I ask her, what is it? She's like not letting me know. But she's definitely showing me that there's 2 souls on that side. Now, don't freak out and think that means twins. It just means that, I don't know, it might be twins. But it means that she's getting to know their souls before they even get here.
Okay.
Then she told you to breathe. and she put money signs all around you. So I don't know if there's some type of financial pressure that's been going on recently, but she's like showing me that this too shall pass and that very soon there's a bunch of money that's coming your way.
Okay.
She's like, basically what she showed me is that we've been trying to keep up with the bills and we've been able to keep up with everything, but over the next like 6 months or so, you're really going to get above, like into the savings aspect of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
She's like, so just breathe. It's going to be okay. And then she takes, or she's showing me this, my symbol for pride, and she's putting it around your husband, and she's talking about how much better he's doing, and she's very proud of him. He's working very hard. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
She's pulling her energy back now, but she's needing you to know that she's with you throughout this while you're becoming a mom and as your family is growing and as you go through the rest of your life. She just needs you to know that she's with you. She shows me the thank you symbol for the communication and the speaking. So you still talk to her out loud, correct?
Sometimes, yeah.
She's thanking you for that because when you do that, her soul is with you in that exact moment. I feel, or I'm smelling, I gotta say, coffee. Hold on. Do you not drink coffee?
I drink decaf. I don't drink regular, but...
Okay, that makes sense. She showed me coffee, and then, because as she's talking about you talking to her and stuff, right? She's like, we'll get together for a coffee, but then she put a big X through it, and she's like, but it's not a coffee. And I'm like, well, I don't know what that means.
Okay.
So it's her way of teasing you for drinking decaffeinated, I think. But just letting you know that in the morning, I think what she's doing is validating that that's when you tend to think of her. And that she's absolutely there to help you with some things going forward. She's telling you to keep working on how you talk to yourself and being careful to treat yourself with the same respect that you would treat your husband or anybody else that you love. Especially becoming a mom, because your children are going to develop, they're going to believe whatever about themselves, however you believe about yourself, because no matter what we say to them, they model our behavior. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, besides, it's my granddaughter you're talking about there. Be nice to her. She's pulling her energy back and congratulating you on the exercise that you've been doing recently or the health changes you've made recently. And she shows me the encouragement symbol that get back on it. It's almost like you had some momentum going forward and then we kind of lost it a bit. And she's like, stop beating yourself up about it and just get back on that horse. You got this.
Oh my God, that's like so specific.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, she's...
Out.
Pardon?
I said I just got called out by grandma.
That's okay. She's like extremely happy to do it because it proves to you that she's with you in this exact moment and that you don't have to worry going forward. She just feels extremely happy to be able to give you some reassurance because I'm not sure what this challenge is that you're currently going through, but I'm feeling what I call white knuckling it, which is where we're holding on so tight and just praying and praying and praying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's why she's bringing through the reassurance so strongly and pride, because you need to remind yourself or you need to remember to give yourself credit, because if you don't give yourself credit for the things that you have accomplished, then as you come to the new challenges in your life, you're not going to realize how qualified you are to handle them unless you realize how much you have already overcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, I hope this was helpful for you today.
Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I had kind of something like a big substantial scare happen a couple of months ago. And I feel that there was somebody that came and kept me and my son out. And I'm wondering if it's possible to find out who that was that got us out.
Okay, hold on.
We had a house fire, and we should have been inside, and we weren't.
Okay, so hold on a sec, because I definitely felt a swarm of energy when you said that. Slow this down. Wow. Okay, so your grandmother comes forward again, and she's taking me back. Remember how I said there was something that happened just a little while ago that she didn't leave your side for?
Yes.
She's showing me the whispering of the ear. It's not one of them specifically. Whenever I'm trying to focus on who specifically, I just keep getting a multitude of spirit. Like, I'm not getting that it was any one person specifically that kind of led you out of the house. What I'm getting about it is that you were never meant to be in the house. It's kind of like, okay, I know this sounds crazy, but hear me out, okay? It's kind of like some situations are, you know, like say a car accident where spirit will come down and like save somebody from this incident, right? Because they weren't supposed to be there in the first place. That was not supposed to happen. They're not supposed to be hurt. And then there's incidences that happen because they're supposed to happen in our lives for whatever reason, not because we're supposed to be involved life-wise, but because that event needs to happen. So it's interesting because I feel like there was never a danger on your life. When I'm trying to focus on that situation, Spirit makes me very, very clear that this event was set up around when you were not there. Even though you normally would be there, everything was set up to make sure that you were not there at that moment. But that event that seems very horrendous in the moment is actually going to produce the seeds of growth that you need to move forward. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Slow this down. This house fire was a natural thing, wasn't it? Like something in the house happened. It wasn't arson. It was something natural in the house, correct?
I don't know how it started. It happened around the stove. We don't know if it was something that was under the burner or if it was something that was electrical.
Yeah, it wasn't like somebody came in your house and lit your house on fire, right? Because what your grandmother is saying is that basically they're making me feel like, for lack of a better word, Spirit lit your house on fire when you weren't there to make sure that nobody died when you were there, because there was something really wrong and you guys didn't know it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not so much that somebody came in and saved you and took you out. It's more like instinctually you knew you weren't supposed to be there that day, because it doesn't feel like you just ran out of the house. It feels more like you had something else to do that you normally wouldn't do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And Spirit just took advantage of it. They're like, okay, she's gone. Let's have this fire now before it happens when they're sleeping or when she's home alone with the baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why it feels like this was, people think I'm crazy sometimes when Spirit says, oh, you know that really bad thing that happened? Well, that was a gift. And they're like, what? It's like, no, seriously, that saved your life because nobody was home when this happened.
Yeah. Wow.
So just trust the guidance in your life. Trust that Spirit is there and looking out for you even when you don't know that the dangers are around.
Okay.
I hope that was helpful, honey.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. You take care.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye-bye. All right, you guys. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for putting up with my scrambled brain today, and I hope that was helpful for everybody. Members Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to say. I'm not sure which day I'm going to do it yet. I'm still recovering, and I might take Saturday to recuperate if you guys are okay with that. I might not. We'll just see how I'm feeling. But I will definitely put a post up either Friday evening or Saturday morning for sure. And we will do Members Weekend. Those of you who don't have a membership, there's still time. It's just going to be me here, and I'll probably be sitting up here. As you've noticed, I go a lot longer on Members Weekends usually. It's just I have more time on the weekend. So it'll be just me taking messages, and yeah. So I will see you guys all on the weekend. Have a great one. Take care.